Hey,
Hello,
everyone.
how are you?
Welcome. We're so glad that you came back.
Yeah.
And hey, it's the new year, and it's time for us to do a checkup on our
Yes, it
intimacy.
is.
Hey. Honey, it's the new year, and many times people make New Year's resolutions a lot.
Always.
Um, we haven't made any.
I'm
We
glad
stopped
we
making
haven't got.
some for a while.
Right.
But still, it's good to do it for people who need to have goals that they want to get accomplished in a certain period of time. So
Right.
it's okay if you made
And
one.
that's what we really do. We set goals.
And as we say, set goals and you want to achieve them. So, hey, um, intimacy. Intimacy is a big topic and issue in relationships, whether it's marriage, whether it's dating, seriously dating, or just getting to know someone. And we need to understand how important intimacy is, right, honey?
Right.
With intimacy, a lot of people always think about, sex or sexual intimacy, the sexual intimacy.
That is a part.
And that is a part, that's one type of intimacy, but there's so many other things that help build a relationship intimately that we really need to focus on.
Because you can have a relationship with anyone.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to be
in,
sexually intimate with just
everybody.
Right.
Yes. So, there are 6 areas that intimacy should come into play in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in your marriage relationship, there's certain, and in your personal relationships with the one that you're seeking a serious relationship with. And there's some that should happen during a marriage, and then there's some that will happen after marriage. So let's get into that. There's 6 areas, and those areas are emotional intimacy, social intimacy, sexual intimacy, intellectual intimacy, recreational intimacy, and spiritual intimacy. Okay, so with emotional intimacy, it's about feelings, it's about emotions, it's about sharing, it's about sharing your emotions and your feelings, and really, wanting to be heard, affirmed, big on affirmations, giving and encouraging my spouse.
And it's good to know your spouse's
Yes.
loves language.
Yes,
How
and emotionally connected to you. Okay, and then social intimacy is about, interacting with other people,
right,
with your spouse. So you have a social relationship, and then you with your spouse, but then you outside of the relationship together with you,
with friends
and family,
other
couples, and being able to have those relationships without having issues and drama, so to say, but being able to connect. And there are some people that you might connect with a little bit more intimately than you would with others. Like family members, you have a different type of intimate connection with them, but it's still a social intimacy connection. Okay, and then sexual intimacy. Sexual intimacy is, y'all know,
spouse only.
Yeah, with your spouse only. Say that again, honey.
With your spouse only.
With your spouse only. Okay?
That keeps a lot of trouble and a lot of headache
stuff out of the
down,
way.
right?
We emphasize that, and as I said, we just gonna hit this little point, but that sensual touch, that sensual activity. Yeah, a little beyond holding the hands.
That's all we do.
But that is, sexual intimacy is very important, especially in marriage. It is vital that you connect and have sexual intimacy. Okay? And we just hitting points. If you need for us to dive further, we will in another segment. All right? Intellectual intimacy. And intellectual intimacy is just, bouncing off ideas and thinking about different ideas that each other have.
Sharing those dreams with that you have,
Yes.
never forget to do that.
Yeah, and just bouncing them off. Having just good dialogue with each other. And
there's
things
no
that
better
you desire
person
to
to
do
have that with
than your spouse.
I mean, we get caught up
someone
in
that you're looking to
talking
build
with people at work or friends.
Right.
But your spouse should be your ultimate friend.
Yeah, ultimate friend. And also, and if you're not married, if you're dating someone seriously, then you should be able to have intellectual conversation and bounce ideas off of that person. If you're looking to build and go deeper and have a journey with them in the future, you need to definitely have intellectual intimacy with that person.
That intellectual intimacy is to start to become friends.
Yes. And to understand
each other.
Where you wanted to go, okay?
Right.
And then recreational intimacy. I love this one because it gives you an opportunity to get out and about with your spouse. Get out and spouse and spend some time and do some things together and be active.
Right.
Like go to the park,
exercise,
walking, hiking, going to the museum, going out to
movies when we were allowed to.
Yeah, when we were able to go to, but whatever. But doing some fun activities and things.
Date night.
Yeah. And one thing that we did with our marriage maintenance ministry, we had a field day with Boo and Bay. And we got out and we played jump rope, we did hula hoop, we played kickball,
all those kind of
played tags,
things.
all kinds of fun relay games and stuff like that. So that recreational activity is important, and also connection with like-minded people, other couples that are looking to build and have a successful marriage too. Okay. And then our last but not least, actually the most important one is your spiritual intimacy. Of course, he's going to give it to us. Remember we said we're going to have some fun with it. And believe me, he keeps us in stitches.
We try.
And that's a sense of unity and mutual commitment to God. And you want to meet the purpose that God has for you in your life and in your marriage, and you're able to spin heartfelt dreams, like he said before, dreams and desires of your heart with your spouse, and y'all be able to unify and reach those together. Okay, so we've given you six different types of intimacies that should be developing and evolving and constantly reevaluated in your marriage and in your relationships. Constantly reevaluated. And I say reevaluated because we need to reevaluate. We need to look at them. And we've been married for 31 and a half years. And we still look at our points of intimacy, the areas in our relationship, to make sure that we keep them brushed up, to make sure that we don't become overkilled or in one area and lax in another area. But we just want to make sure that everything is in order. And so it's important to do. Be
mindful of those points.
Yes.
Because they're very important.
It is. And especially the first one that I said about emotional intimacy.
We all have a lot of emotions are something, because her emotions are not like my emotions. And we say, women are emotional creatures, men are emotional creatures too. We have a lot of emotions that they're happy, some are sad, some are
and they're internalized. Their emotions are internalized. They don't allow them to come out, but they're still emotions. And we have to learn how to manage our emotions in a way that will continue. Allow us to continue to have a decent relationship in our not only decent but a workable and a pliable relationship with our spouse or who we're in relation with.
So that we continue to be in covenant with one another.
Yeah, it's so vital. And so with emotions, we have to make sure that we manage our emotions during this time with so many different things and pressures of life that are on us right now because of the way the world is set up right now with a major pandemic. It is vital that we allow ourselves to be open to our spouse in their emotions and how they're feeling about the different things that we're faced with. Okay? So we are so excited that you've tuned in. Do your evaluations, check up on your intimacy, talk to your spouse. We're going to give you some tools to just sit and have conversations with your spouse. The best way that you can understand what your spouse needs intimately is to communicate. Communication is key, right?
It's key.
It answers the questions. All you have to do is ask them.
That's it.
So we thank y'all for tuning in again, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, and always remember to live, love, laugh, and last.
Forever.
We're covenant for life.